came back.
X-Files. I don't even remember what happened in any of the seasons. So what
I remember specific episodes, and I also remember like the general storyline. I'm not even sure what prompted them to bring back the X-Files.
Why did they bring this show back?
But I think like the trend now on TV is like supernatural kind of stuff. Because the show Supernatural has been around, it's in its 11th season. I don't want to give away the whole episode because it's still only 2 episodes into 6 episodes, so that's a good portion of it. But yeah, I think it took a lot to get it back on track, especially signing on the main actors, David Duchovny and Gillian Anderson, Gillian with a G.
You can tell how much they've aged. It's actually pretty cool to see the difference in the way they look now from when they ended the series.
But they still have like the same base. The show started in 1992, and not many people probably.
I was a baby.
I was 2.
I was only a baby.
I remember that.
Old.
I remember.
I don't.
1992. Is that weird that I remember that? I was only 2-3 years old. It was a good year. I was reading an article about when Gillian Anderson, she was 25 when she started the show. So she was pretty young. She was younger than us.
She was 25?
Yeah. She was 25 when she started the show. And, you know, gender issues have come a long way, especially in media and entertainment. But at the time, one thing that I found really surprising was that, well, not really surprising was the pay gap. That's still going on today. We still see that huge fight today, the pay gap.
With actors and actresses?
Yeah, and she fought for years to get paid as much as David Duchovny. And one rule that they had was that she couldn't stand side by side with him in any of the shots. She always had to stand like a few feet behind him.
In the shots? Like in the actual show?
In the
or
actual
while they're
show.
on set?
In the actual show. Like if you watch the show, you can go back and watch the first few seasons, which I kind of want to go back and watch them. I recently rewatched the first and second season, like not too long ago, before they decided to bring back X-Files, just because it was on Netflix. When they asked her to come back to the show, they only offered her half as much as David Duchovny, which is, and they did break like a lot of new ground for television shows today. Another article I was reading was talking about how they always had to readjust the scripts in order to get them approved because they were just like way too risque or too scary, too weird. You know, so they broke a lot of ground for TV shows today, especially like the horror genre and the supernatural. But if you look back on the episodes and you watch them now compared to what is on television now, regular network TV, like it's
lame.
It's lame.
It's lame.
It's a little bit campy.
Speaking of campy, oh my gosh, I started watching the X-Files first episode and I turned it off after 15 minutes because I just couldn't take it anymore. It was far too campy. Where I just stopped. I was like, I'm far too mature. I felt like I was too mature to watch this show. And that doesn't seem right. But then after I gave it another shot after I fast forwarded the 15 minutes that I already watched, finished that episode, and then I watched the second episode. The second episode I definitely think represents the show a lot better than the first one did, because the second episode I was really hooked and I just wanted to keep watching more. But what did you think about that?
I agree in its campiness, but it's kind of part of the show's charm. You know, when you bring back a show that's 14 years old, you're obviously not going to have the same audience, the same viewership. You will have some diehard fans coming back. That's probably a big deal. Like, one of the biggest questions was like, how do we get people, you know, to want to watch, not that to want to watch the show. I mean, everyone knows what it's about. X-Files is pretty, you know, I don't want to say landmark. You don't say that about a TV show.
It's pretty...
It's still famous. People still understand what you're talking about when you say the X-Files. You know, it's been parodied. It's been, you know...
I think the one thing that draws me into the X-Files is that I always thought that I was an alien hybrid. I'm an alien! Oh my gosh, government, please don't come after me. You didn't hear that.
And the second episode is really good, I think. I think it just, like, envelops everything, the charm of the storylines, you get the relationship right away.
So I think the second episode definitely warrants more viewing.
Yeah.
Further than that.
So if you're anything like Lisa and you didn't like the first episode, hold on tight, or just skip straight to the second episode.
Just go to the second episode.
Well, I think we're gonna have another Geek on this when all of this is wrapped up, all 6 episodes, and we'll give you our final scores. But my score right now is probably 6.5 pizzas for the past 2 episodes.
And even though the first episode sucked, I did like the second episode, so I'm gonna go with 6 pizza slices. But yeah, that's it.
Okay. Let's start a fire.